some of the trees and on the windshield, things like that, some cold surfaces that have some of that ice that has accumulated. So here's as a look as we go through this evening, 9 p.m. So in about 2 hours, we have a little bit of some light drizzle still left over. This is still enough to have a little more ice accumulation as we go through the night, ending around midnight. And then as we go into tomorrow morning, if you are in the north and western suburbs, you'll want to just give yourself some extra time. Any untreated surfaces, we can't rule out the chance for some icy spots early on tomorrow morning. But in the city, I think we'll be okay. Then as we head towards 1 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe seeing some peaks of sun and temperatures jump into the 40s. So we're pretty much done with that threat. And then notice here into the evening hours closer to about that freezing mark. So here's a look at the next 12 hours to show you that we're actually climbing in temperatures, which is good for us. As we go through the overnight hours, I think we'll start to get rid of the system and our temperatures will go up at least a little bit. Tomorrow, it will be windy. You will feel the wind when you're out and about tomorrow. Temperatures will be into the mid 40s though, so not going to be as chilly as it was today. That's for tomorrow. Friday to end the week, we're back down into the 20s, kind of back to reality, but just like it has been lately, just for one day. And last week it was actually on Friday as well. Then as we head into this upcoming weekend, take a look. Saturday, temperatures are going to be into the low 40s. It's dry. Sunday in the 50s, 40s by the lake because we have an onshore wind. And then beyond that, Monday, about 56 degrees. Yes, we'll have some wet weather, but it's just going to be in the form of raindrops, closer to 60 degrees.
Yeah, the weekend's looking really nice.
We had a couple good
we
ones
just
in a
keep
row.
getting one day cold and then we go back up.
Yeah, and
That's okay.
the last 3 weeks, this will be the third weekend, I think, where we've seen a lot of sunshine, which is great.
Really nice.
Yeah.
And the days are getting longer.
This is true.
I like
We
that.
spring forward in March.
And then we
I
fall
believe.
back. Right.
Yeah, well, that's down to the fall,
Right.
So
It is
Spring
feeling
forward.
like spring though. Definitely has that feeling.
which worries me that we're not nearly there, and we're gonna
Right.
pay
Well, you
for
know, it
later.
has snowed on opening day baseball, so, and that was in April sometime.
Right,
so, and you
right.
know, Prince, my song, sometimes it snows in April.
It
You know
does
that
here,
song,
at
so,
least once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Heisel, thank you. We'll see you a
All
little bit
right.
later.
Well, today is Ash Wednesday.
Marks the beginning of Lent for many Christians, and for those who could not make it to church this morning, the traditional marking of ashes on people's foreheads was offered at Daly Plaza here downtown.
And at Holy Name Cathedral in Chicago, Cardinal Blaise Cupich leading Mass for Roman Catholics. The ashes are a solemn reminder of human mortality and the need for reconciliation with God. Lent is a period of time for fasting and prayer ahead of Easter Sunday.
Our friend Guy's with us, floor director. He has given up a few things. We're going to make sure you stay with that.
Going to be very supportive.
Chocolate.
Absolutely. She
And
said candy.
Candy.
Yeah.
And then there was one other thing. What was it, Guy? Candy and chocolate. Soda pop.
Oh, okay.
That's hard.
No, not really. If you don't really, he doesn't drink a lot of soda pop, so that won't be
it's
too
the candy
bad.
that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
We're going to have to, we'll
I
maintain
know,
our
'cause he
distance.
likes Jolly
We don't wanna tempt you,
Ranchers,
yeah.
and he always brings me Jolly Ranchers.
Chocolate,
so.
you have that all the time around. So.
I know. Did you give up something? You're thinking about it?
I should.
All right.
I
Miss
didn't.
Adriana, your mom,
She
I know
probably
she
did. I have
wants
to
you
talk to
give
her
up
tonight.
something,
She's
too.
watching. She always does. I'm sure she
Yeah.
went to Ash Wednesday. So
Worried
I'll
about
have
her
to-
son?
Yes,
You know,
probably.
Okay.
No, you're making me feel bad. I'm sorry. I'll give something.
We'll do it all together. I'm with
Right.
you. I'm with you.
No. Well, coming up, helping people buy a home. The change is coming to make the process more affordable for some families. It's next. Tomorrow, the NTSB is set to release a report on that toxic train derailment in Ohio. It's been nearly 3 weeks since it happened. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg will visit East Palestine tomorrow. Former President Donald Trump visited today. He's been critical of the Biden administration's response to the derailment. White House quickly firing back today, saying the Trump administration withdrew train-related safety regulations.
And the man convicted of killing rapper Nipsey Hussle is sentenced to 60 years in prison. Eric Holder Jr. was found guilty of murder back in July of last year, and prosecutors say he shot and killed the Grammy Award-winning artist back in 2019. Holder's attorney says he is planning to appeal his sentence.
Movie Rust will start production again this spring following that deadly shooting on the film set. Alec Baldwin still has the leading role despite facing involuntary manslaughter charges in New Mexico for the shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Film's director, who was wounded in that shooting, says he wants to complete the film to honor Hutchins.
Well, the FDA is finding 4 electronic cigarette companies. The federal agency says those companies did not get proper authorization to sell their products here in the United States. The maximum fine is more than $19,000 for each violation.
JP Morgan Chase, the largest bank here in the United States, is the latest company to crack down on the use of ChatGPT. That's artificial intelligence software that's coming under growing scrutiny. It can generate college essays, computer codes, but has also been reported to make significant errors. That's a concern for companies dealing with sensitive data. While some companies are encouraging use of this software, others are restricting its use. Some schools are banning it. Spotify is turning to artificial intelligence to make playlists more seasonal. The streaming service following out a personalized voice DJ to announce songs. Service will only be available to premium subscribers for now. I think I'm a premium subscriber. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, their playlists already are great. They're like, it kind of figures you out. You have these daily mixes.
They kind of populate what you've listened to, and then they organize one
and
just
it starts
for you.
To, yeah, and you're like, how did you know I wanted to hear that? But it'd be neat to see it if I had my own personal DJ.
I know. Oh, is it called something? DJ Rob?
No,
Rob?
DJ Spotify.
DJ on the ones and twos?
It's just artificial intelligence. What could go wrong?
Right, exactly. Listening to every move you make. All right. American Girl releasing 2 new historic dolls. But for many of you, they might remind you of your very own history.
Also adding olive oil to coffee. The new drink Starbucks is testing. I'll try it.
Yeah, that's right.
Throw a little in.
Okay, it's good for you. Biden administration unveiling a new plan to make buying a home more affordable. The government is looking to lower mortgage insurance premiums for people who take out loans insured by the Federal Housing Administration. Now, those loans are typically more expensive than traditional loans. They're mostly used by people who cannot afford conventional loans.
We do this work because we know that when we lower costs for working people, when working people can buy a home, when working people can thrive, our nation thrives.
And the change is expected to save 850,000 home buyers around $800.
It seems tequila is being threatened by climate change. Tequila comes from agave plants and can thrive in hot weather, but the plants are struggling now because of weather whiplash from extreme drought to massive storms. We gotta have tequila.
All right. Well, Starbucks is adding olive oil to coffee.
We gotta have
yeah,
tequila.
people
We gotta
don't
have
usually
coffee.
do tequila and coffee, right?
This is only to no. I do well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've tried that, which is remarkable. So they're adding olive oil to coffee, but only select drinks.
Okay.
Here's why. The CEO
Okay.
says he was inspired by a visit to Sicily
Okay.
when he saw people drinking olive oil with their coffee. The Olito, I think I'm saying Oleato line will be served in Southern California in the spring, with plans to go global sometime this year. I mean, I'll try it for sure.
I was trying to see what oleato means in Italiano.
Okay, look it up.
Oh, yeah, oleato.
I mean, olive oil is the Mediterranean diet, and olive oil is great for us.
Yeah, people love
Those people are
it.
thin, and they're healthy, and they're active.
Oleate. It's
Yeah.
oleate, but
Okay, well, they added an O.
All right. We'll
us.
find out for later on. But
I think we'll try it.
Yeah, because olive oil, people use it on their bodies and their hair, you know, in their cooking, everywhere. So it's good for you. So drinking it is just going right into your
They
system.
use it in their hair? Or is it
Oh,
supposed to do,
yeah.
It kind of gives it
a lot of people use it. I mean, you wash your hair and you just let it dry. You don't have to, and you
oil.
just pour a lot of it on there. It's healthy for you.
Okay, and-
Yeah, you should try it. It's good.
What?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, a
see?
A
spoonful?
spoonful with a little bit of salt will take a stomach ache away.
olive oil.
For a
It's
stomach
a little
ache.
home remedy that my mom, I don't know
a
if she made it up.
spoonful with a little bit of, for what kind of
olive
stomach
oil.
ache? Like if you
whatever.
overate?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
If you overate, just have a spoon of olive oil
I think
with
they-
a little bit of salt.
See?
Since I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
not
I don't
questioning.
know, maybe it works.
I'm not questioning Mom.
Cod liver oil. My dad used to have a
Right, fish oil, but that
every
doesn't-
day.
that
Yeah,
doesn't
he would
taste
line us
great.
up and take the spoon and line 5 kids up, and we had our,
Stop, really?
cod liver oil. Yeah, it's really good for your skin.
It's supposed
good-
to be, but it had to
right,
have
it's good
tasted
for everything.
horrible.
Yeah, you just did it because Daddy knew best. Daddy knows best, right, or something like
Did you
that.
wash it down with water or anything? Yeah. Right, just kind of choke it down. Well, look, you're youthful and you're healthy, and maybe
knock on wood.
he was onto something.
But yeah, all of that olive oil, fish oil, it's
gonna light 'em
appears
up.
to be good for you.
Isel's
so.
mom told me to have this.
I know. Next time we got a
Cheryl's dad
stomach
told me to
ache,
have this.
not ginger ale. Get you
No.
some olive oil.
Olive oil, right.
I wonder
Olive oil.
what kind of olive oil they'll put in the drink at Starbucks. There's different flavors.
Oh, there's some
types
that
and-
are ridiculously
Yeah,
expensive.
Right.
And I always
so-
thought it's just olive oil.
And
but
our makeup artist, Laura, she's
Yes.
very particular about what type of
Yes,
olive
she
oil.
is. Laura, and she cooks
Yes.
in it all the
great-
time.
great cook.
Laura is such a spectacular cook. I mean, so healthy
So
the way
she would tell us
Okay.
that not only to get it if we know exactly what ingredients are in the
are in it.
olive
That's
oil.
right.
I feel like we
that
could
are
just
going
try
into
this
Starbucks.
ourselves.
We need to ask Laura tomorrow if
Just
she
get some
would
coffee and we'll-
right which one is best in the coffee.
Right.
I think you should try it. You drink coffee every day.
Yeah.
You're drinking some right
We have
now.
canned coffee right here.
So I think you should
Throw a little olive
try
oil
it
in
tomorrow morning because your wife has lots of olive oil. I know in her cabinet.
we use it all the time instead
so
of
try
butter.
it tomorrow and just
I'll let you know.
do look. This is like this.
Maybe a little
back.
tequila. Now that we're talking about that, apparently it's going up.
No, do not mix that.
No, I won't.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Let's talk about American Girl, throwing it back to the 90s. Ooh, don't we love the 90s? Did you see Good Morning America today? This was so adorable. The company unveiling its new dolls in the morning on Good Morning America. Isabel and Nikki are the first set of twin dolls in the company's historical collection. American Girl says the fraternal twins highlight both the glitter and the grunge of that area that shaped today's internet. They're so cute. Of course, the internet, entertainment, and the fashion trends.
I'm surprised they haven't done fraternal.
I know.
Oh, probably
Isn't
not
that
from that
surprising?
collection back in the 90s. Yeah.
Because sometimes daughters get them custom made. So twin girls have gotten them custom made for each other.
And here on Michigan Avenue, that place was hugely popular.
Always, yeah.
I like that they made so many dolls that look like you.
different
no matter
countries,
where you
different
come
continents,
from,
different
you can design a
cultures.
doll
Yeah.
that represents you, and I
Yep.
think it's great. It means a lot to a lot of girls.
I know Girl Scouts made one, customized a Girl Scout one for me,
Yeah.
and she looks like me. She's adorable. I should have brought it and had her on set with me
Did she
today.
sell
She's
it?
in my office, right by the door.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Well, there's a lot in your office.
I know.
I mean,
But
it's
she's
like a
right at
museum
the
in
front
there.
door.
Okay, I'll look
She's
when I
right there.
I'll see
Yeah.
it today.
So I love all of those, especially when it represents who you are.
Yeah.
And young girls go and they pick everything themselves, from the clothes,
build
they
it.
get color to.
Yeah,
I love
those
it.
look like
so,
fun.
Yeah. All right.
A donation of history, the cookbooks and recipes donated to city colleges ahead. But first, we want to check in with Heisel. Hello.
Hey, we still have that precipitation out there in different forms. Some of us seeing freezing rain. That is when it's raining, and right at the surface, it is at freezing. Some of us are right at freezing. Waukegan at 32, Woodstock at 32, DeKalb at 32 as well. That's where we're seeing some of that ice. This moves out overnight tonight. We'll talk more about your forecasts coming up in just a little bit.
As we continue to celebrate Black History Month, Chicago City Colleges will be able to celebrate the history of Black cuisine for years to come.
So today, the family of Frank McWhorter donated nearly 2,000 cookbooks. Karen Jordan has more on McWhorter's story and this historic donation.
These vintage cookbooks come from a massive collection compiled over the years by Sandra McWhorter Marsh. Her younger brother Gerald says she's always had a passion for cooking.
She became a great chef in our family, and so she developed this cookbook collection.
McWhorter Marsh donated her entire collection of more than 1,700 cookbooks to the Washburn Culinary Institute at Kennedy King College. It's the 83-year-old's wish for future generations to preserve Black culinary traditions. And McWhorter Marsh is honoring her own legacy. She's the great-great-granddaughter of Free Frank McWhorter, an enslaved man who bought his freedom and his wife's, settling in southern Illinois in the 1830s, where he founded the town New Philadelphia. As descendants of Free Frank, the McWhorter family puts value on education.
We're so proud of these young people making a way for themselves and getting these skills.
In honor of the donation, culinary students prepared some dishes from one of McWhorter Marsh's cookbooks.
It's been an eye-opening experience to know that someone of that stature still looks at us and says, oh, let me pass down knowledge that I have gained over the years, and it kind of helps push the culinary generation forward.
These are the dishes picked for today's event, recipes pulled from an old edition of the Ebony Cookbook. Things like pound cake, black-eyed peas, and this throwback recipe, a chef's molded salad, which some of the culinary students have never heard of before.
I tasted it, and it was all right. It was all right.
But the rest of the meal was a hit. There are plenty more recipes to discover in McWhorter Marsh's collection, now in Kennedy King's library. Karen Jordan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Wow.
The number of great things in those books
I know. Free
Oh, man.
Frank McWhorter. Of course, the family, generations sharing. And, you know, food, cuisine, we were talking about it earlier because we had the Black History Luncheon with ABC7 yesterday at DuSable Museum, and every single item on the menu had a backstory about how that food came to be. So a cookbook like that it means more than just the food.
Yeah, I saw you eating your leftovers from that.
I did.
It looked good.
It was really good, and it was
was
a
it?
power. You know, it's powerful when you know the history of where this dish
Was it
derived
jambalaya?
from. Jambalaya today.
I thought I saw rice
Yeah.
and beans. What else was in there?
There was rice and shrimp and sausage.
You had a
and,
plate.
yeah, I had. It was. I mean, so that could be a coffee table. We should try the salad too. It's like
The
gelatin.
molded salad, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
game.
know. The
I'm
chefs
game.
were a little reserved
She
about
said it was
but
okay.
Right answer. But they get to do so many great things at those.
Right, and the
that's
history
cool.
part. Karen, thank you for sharing that. I wonder if Karen tried it. She didn't
Right.
tell us
You're
if
gonna
she
have to
tried
ask
it. Yeah, so that she had the best story to cover today, right? Let's talk about a popular musical returning back to Chicago. That story is just ahead for us tonight.
Also, new partnership between the Rolling Stones
Ooh.
and a surviving member of the Beatles.
Okay.
Maybe two Beatles. There's a lot of discussion about this. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, don't throw away your shot to see Hamilton. Broadway in Chicago announcing today that the wildly popular musical returning right back here to Chicago. The show begins September 13th at the Nederlander Theater. That means we're going to see them every night.
Right around the corner.
Coming by the studio. Casting, performance, schedule, and individual ticket sales for Hamilton will be announced later on this year. Such a fabulous production. 11 Tony Awards.
Terrible confession.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
either.
you will have to see it
But
now. Yeah.
I've wanted to see it.
So-
when I was gonna,
This is the
want to
place.
see it.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, I
So
mean-
you can get off work one night, maybe have dinner, and then
It
go.
had such a great run here too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Oh.
phenomenal. So glad it's coming back.
I know, we know all the songs we could do, you know, we could kick the graphics and the words and the.
I feel like I should watch the movie because remember they did a
They
movie
did,
performance for it, so I
yeah,
can
they
at least get
did.
up to speed on it. So coming back, you get a chance to
right.
see it. Rivals No More. Paul McCartney going to play bass on a Rolling Stones track. Few other details available about the album. This is a big deal because this will be the first time since the Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts died, but also Rolling Stones spokesperson denying reports that Ringo Starr also featured on the album. The Beatles and Rolling Stones have been called rivals for years. They were so popular when they began to gain fame, and this isn't the first time they've ever worked together. McCartney and Lennon helped write the Stones' first hit, I Want to Be Your Man, and Mick Jagger of the Stones was apparently a semi-regular guest of honor at Beatles recording sessions. So I looked up that song because it was like early. It was late 60s, before they really became this rock anthem band of the 70s.
Okay.
And they were all friends. Like they were writing music
Because
together.
they were from the same area,
Yes.
kind of, you know.
I think they realized.
And near Abbey Road.
People thought, you know,
Yeah, they always try to pit groups
Yeah.
against each other who are coming up, who have similar, you know, goals and sounds and things like that.
But those guys, I mean, the
And it's
talent
like it's
in
either
there.
you're one or the other. Either you like this one or that one.
Right.
And then they like the Beatles started off as the kind of this boy band in England, right? And then they spawned into this great rock anthem band. And then the Stones were doing the same thing. And it's just wild to think these guys are still performing.
Yeah,
today.
traveling around the
I know.
world, selling out to theaters and selling out to stadiums all over the
I bet
world.
Ringo's in it too.
Yeah. Well, we're going to keep in touch with them and see,
Yeah,
you know,
I
see
think
what
he's gonna be
happens.
in
Maybe
it
we
as
can
well.
play a little bit of the music 9 seconds.
We have a 9-second rule on the internet here, wherever you're watching us. So.
Well, it is looking like, speaking of music, the next LL Cool J album won't be released anytime soon. The rapper and actor filed several tweets today, although some have been deleted, but he left ones where he says he's not dropping an album and he wants to rewrite the whole thing. Well, the last LL Cool J album, Authentic, that came out in 2013.
10 years.
Yeah, he's got some major hits. He doesn't have to make any new music, in my opinion, because he's got such great hits. He collaborated with J-Lo, All I Have. He's got Doing It and Doing It and Doing It Well, Doing It and Doing It.
Well, and the 90s was where he was so awesome. He was part of that explosion.
Yeah,
too.
Mama said knock you out.
Yes,
Remember?
I'm gonna
Remember
knock
that video in the boxing ring?
Funky Cole Medina, I think, was also him, right? I mean, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
So he's taking his time, I guess.
Right. Well, he's an actor now.
Yeah,
He's
right.
like, you know, Tony Award-winning.
He's just like, why do we keep bringing this up?
Yeah, he could have had a change of heart. Or
Everybody
change of
wants new music. Like they keep asking Rihanna to make new music. So
That's coming.
They just want some new. People want when you're popular. I mean, he's busy acting though. He's so busy acting. He's got so many movie roles and TV roles.
These superstars too. Anything you're going to listen to it, like people who really love them, just want to hear new
Right.
stuff,
Yeah,
like
new
you said.
stuff.
Yeah, Mama
you're
said,
right.
knock
You're
you
right.
out. That was the anthem back in the day, and the girls with the earrings. Yeah. All right.
So the winner of the $1.35 billion Mega Millions jackpot has claimed their prize. The winning ticket was sold in Maine in January. The winner chose the cash option, wants to remain anonymous.
Okay.
Remember back in September, the Illinois winners of a $1.34 billion jackpot also chose to remain anonymous. Illinois state lottery officials took a picture with the check.
Yeah, that's the best they can do.
Right. So the states, including California, require winners' names to be released publicly. I think it was right before you joined us here at ABC7 this happened. It was sold in displays, and no one had come forward. We talked about a lot on the show because they had like 2 days left. And we were like, maybe they don't know they won, or they threw the ticket away, and they sat on that ticket. And you were right. You're like, I bet they're going to come out. And the day before I think they had to come forward, they did. Can you imagine sitting on that winning ticket
Yeah,
for that long?
my mom buys lottery tickets a lot, and she would be the one who wouldn't check to see if she won. That would be her.
Has she ever won anything?
I mean, nothing like $100.
That's
but
yeah,
That's a lot.
that's
something.
it.
But if
After
she's played
way more
Right.
than $100.
Tell her to keep playing because it will happen. I think the most I've won on a scratch off is $10.
I just don't.
Scratch off.
I'm not a.
Yeah, no, it's probably smart to
Do
save
you?
money.
Okay, so I was going to ask you if you won, would you come forward? But you don't even play, so.
wouldn't even- yeah, I don't play.
Would your mom come forward then? Let's say that. You know, you have a lot of relatives. You showed us the pictures when you first started
So
here.
I asked my grandma the other day, how many cousins do I have? She said way more than 45. So
Wow.
yeah, so many. There would be a lot of people to share it with. So
Right,
I
well-
don't think she would, to be honest. I
She
don't
wouldn't
think
come
she would.
forward if, yeah.
And then all of a sudden everybody knows, you know, they're like, oh, hi, Soul, I heard your mom won
heard your mom
your
won the
grandma.
Right.
lottery.
I think I'd
Our
remain
little
anonymous.
Me
friends.
too, for sure. Remember, we do know the name of the gentleman in California. Remember who
Yes,
won
he had to release.
the
You're
$2
right,
billion?
right. Yeah, he had to release
so,
his
but-
name.
Right.
Hopefully he had a very generic name. Because
It was. I think it was like Javier Castro or something. It was.
Oh,
It was.
not too generic, but a ton of men who had that
Right,
name
right. And
said
you-
everybody was calling them and saying, "Oh my God, you won!" And they had to tell people and tweet and say, "Stop! I didn't come into his house and knocking on
Yeah,
the
no, it's
doors."
not
It
me.
was right. so.
Somebody who. Edwin
Yeah.
Castro. I was close. Okay,
Yeah.
Edwin Castro. Michelle's telling us. So somebody in Des Plaines won, and they probably watch us. and they're now filthy rich, and I just think that's cool.
I know. What was the take-home sum, though?
That one was $1 billion.
Like,
I think that was like 700 million or something like that. After.
Could you live off of that? Is that enough?
It'd be hard. It'd be really hard.
I would definitely take the payments.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Life is too short. Tomorrow's not promised.
Well, I would take the
you take the
no.
Oh, you do payments?
Payments, yeah.
So you get like a check every
Because
month.
I mean,
Okay.
I would just like leave it to someone, just in case.
Okay. Would you
And
quit your
get more
job?
money.
Your wonderful
No,
job here at
no,
ABC7?
I really wouldn't. I
Yeah.
couldn't. My mind can't take not
No,
working.
Okay.
I'm that type of person.
Okay.
That's incredible.
Yeah, you're
I
a
don't
good
believe you.
person.
I don't believe you at all. But hey, that's very nice.
Maybe I do like my own like forecasting company.
Right. Own a weather company. Yeah.
But I
Buy.
had to keep working.
Yeah.
Probably buy this
Okay.
company if you wanted. So
Yeah, that.
Well, we're not winning though because we're not playing.
I don't know if I can buy Disney.
You're not winning in the
Probably
weather
not
department
Disney.
tonight,
Disney's worth
so.
some coin.
Yeah.
There's a look at downtown. Oh, the clouds. Is that
Yeah,
low
nobody's
clouds?
winning tonight.
No. Well,
Yeah.
But it's moving out, Heisel, huh?
It's on its way out, slowly but surely. You can see here the main area of precipitation is on its way out. We actually had some severe thunderstorm warnings just a little bit ago to our south in southern Illinois here. And this was earlier this afternoon while we were in the 30s and seeing some freezing rain in some spots. And high temperatures to our south were in the 80s at one point. Temperatures now, notice here, still in the upper 60s in Cincinnati. Chicago, we're at 35 degrees. So because we're right in the middle, we're kind of squashed in the middle between a cold and warm air, we're seeing a little bit of that ice form in some of our areas here. Again, temperatures right now into the low and mid 30s. And I think Chicago will stay just above freezing through the overnight hours. Maybe we drop to about 32 for a little bit, but I don't think it will be enough to cause issues. But for our western suburbs, we do still have that winter weather advisory in effect until 6 in the morning. We can't rule out the chance for some isolated slick spots here for untreated surfaces, and then that ice storm warning still in effect until noon north here into Wisconsin, south into Illinois. We are looking at that to go into effect or stay in effect until 6 in the morning tomorrow. Here is a live look at radar showing you a lot of us are seeing rain, but as I zoom in, I want to show you that areas south of Chicago, our southern suburbs, are seeing temperatures right now near 35, 36, 37. Plain cold rain for you all. But then as we go north of the city, temperatures sitting right at freezing at Waukegan and Woodstock, DeKalb also at 32 degrees, and this is where we're seeing some of that ice forms. This is freezing rain, so coming down as raindrops, but because the surface is right at freezing, it immediately freezes on contact, and that's what we're seeing on some of our higher surfaces, like on the trees, on your car, maybe on your porch. That's where we're seeing this. As we continue through the night, we will slowly start to see this move out of here. By midnight, we're still left over with a little bit of some drizzle. And then notice tomorrow morning, maybe some patchy drizzle for our northern and western suburbs. But notice that also our temperatures are on the rise. So there will be some isolated slick spots very early on tomorrow and for any untreated surfaces. But in the area of the Chicago area, I think mainly Cook County, I think we might be okay for tomorrow morning. And then by the afternoon, seeing some peaks of sun, temperatures will be into the 40s. And then by the evening hours tomorrow, maybe you see a few flakes flying here as some colder air starts to move back into the area. Overnight tonight, as I mentioned, our temperatures are actually going to be climbing here as we get closer to sunrise. Typically, our temperatures are falling as we get closer to sunrise, but not the case this time, which is good for us because we want to be done with this chance for some freezing rain and some ice. As we head into tomorrow, temperatures will be into the mid 40s. It will be windy, so it will feel colder than that. And then you'll definitely notice the difference in the air on Friday, temperatures into the upper 20s. And then Saturday and Sunday, just like that, we're back into the 40s and 50s. We'll do it again. Last Friday, we were in the 20s, and then we went into the weekend and we were in the 40s and 50s. We're going to do that again for this upcoming weekend. And then as you take a look here into Monday, even up into the mid 50s. Yes, it will be windy and wet on Monday, but very mild with temperatures into the mid 50s. Cheryl?
All right, we like the sound of that. The 50s right in the middle of February. Well, miniature art on display, the new exhibit celebrating all things small.
They're really tiny.
And delicious.
Yeah. Small is Beautiful, that's the name of a new exhibit in New York City. Some 130 plus pieces of artwork on display created by dozens of artists around the world.
They kind of look like mini real people. I like miniature people. I like this kind of art.
Some 150,000 people stopped by to see the exhibit during previous stops in Paris and London. It's on display through August. Really little.
I like what Noah and Sienna said.
Good,
It's so sweet. All right, that's going to do it. We'll see you at 10 over on ABC 7.